Fine. So yesterday we were doing the percentage basics, so it will take some time to see the comment. Okay, so yesterday we have seen the basic of the percentage, some concept we have seen, something we have seen like a, see, whatever we have read yesterday, whatever we have learned yesterday, that's not going to come directly, but definitely they are going to ask such question in the examination, and they are the basic blocks. Like if you understand that concept, you are able to solve. Dekho, mathematics is like kind of each dot we have to connect, and sometimes the question is from percentage, sometimes the question is from some other topic, but the thread is connected from the percentage. So percentage is the basic of each, we can say, each topic, and if you understand percentage well, it's very easy to understand the other topic also. So yesterday we have done the basics. And we were starting the successive increment and decrement. Before that I have to take your questions, but I don't have prompter and all, because of some issue. So team is working on that. As soon as I will able to see your questions, I will take it up. Fine. Okay. Till then let's do some questions. Let's do some question. Till then we can. Okay. If suppose the question is X salary is 20% more than Y salary. X salary is 20% more than Y salary. Then Y salary is how much percent less than X salary? A very simple question, very simple thing. We have to solve this question. X salary is 20% more than Y salary. So the first statement, X salary is 20% more than Y salary. So that means they are talking about X salary. This is 20% more than Y salary or not? See, X salary is 20%, more means addition, and then more of what? More of Y salary. Okay? So X salary is 20% more than Y salary, or simply we can directly write this also. This is 120 upon 100 into Y, or simply X is 120% of Y or not? X is 120% of Y. This is what we have discussed yesterday. If X salary is 20% more, more means addition, more of what? Y salary is 100%. If X salary is 20% more, then simply we can say this is 120%. This is 120%. ठीक है ना? तो ये कितना आ गया? X is equal to 120% of Y. Now, I am giving you again a golden tip. I am giving you a tip like, okay, whenever in the question, all data are given in percentage. All data given in percentage, and final question is also they are asking in the percentage. If all data are given in percentage and final data also they are asking in percentage, you can simply take, instead of X, Y or Z, you can simply take value is equal to 100. Value is equal to 100. Like for example, if I have to take one value here, which value I will take? They're talking about X with respect to Y, so I will take Y value, and which value I will take? Y. Y value I can take as 100. And this rule applicable when? See, like what we are doing, we are assuming this is equal to X. This is equal to x. This is what we are doing in the mathematics. But here, what we can say, when all data are given in percentage and just wait, you can just do that part. Let me complete this question. When all data are in the percentage, as well as when all data are in the percentage and final answer also they are asking in the percentage, in that case what you can do, you can assume the value is equal to 100. As soon as you will assume y is equal to 100, x become 120 and y become 100. Now this is the value we have. This is the value we have. Now what is the question? The question is, y salary is how much percent less than x salary? Now come to the yesterday concept. Percent of less means they are asking percent of change, and percent of change is equal to final value minus initial value divided by initial value into 100. So what is the final value? Percent of less than x salary. So x salary become what? X salary become your initial value. X salary become your initial value. So now you can put all the value here. Y is equal to 100 minus 120 upon 120 into 100. You can solve and you can find out your answer. You can solve and you can find out your answer. This is not this much complicated. We can solve in the by easy method also. But right now, since we are learning something and most people are like they don't know they have not done the maths from last 5-6 years. So this is a very basic thing I have told you. By this way we can solve this problem. By this way we can solve this problem. I hope this is clear. X salary is 20% more than Y salary. So X salary is 120% of Y salary. So if I am taking Y is equal to 100, X become 120. Now apply the logic. Then Y salary is how much percent less than X salary? Then Y salary is how much percent less than X salary? So simply we can put the option and we can find out the answer. Now you can open the PPT. This is a very basic question. Okay. And how to change it? हो जाएगा, ठीक है. So this is a very basic questions. We will upload this PPT. You can solve that. Some problem I will take it in here also. This question yesterday we have done. P is 6 times as large as Q. Then the percent of Q is less than P. This we have done. Now this question, the time duration of 2 hours 45 minutes is what percent of a day? Suppose this question we have to solve. The time duration of 2 hours 45 minutes is what percent of a day? Please solve this question. Please solve this question. How much more time it will take for this comment and all? Please solve this problem. The time duration of 2 hours 45 minutes is what percent of a day? So first find out Ajib. Just a minute. Okay. So the time duration of 2 hours 45 minutes is what percent of a day? How to solve this question? So first check that 2 hours 45 minutes. So 2 hours 45 minutes, how much time is there? So this is basically 2 hours 45 minutes means 120 plus 45, that means 165 minute. 165 minute. Okay. Now, so if I ask you x is what percent of y, if suppose this is written as x, if I write this as a x and if I write this as a y, so what is the question? The question is x is what percent of y? The question is x is what percent of y? Now I am able to see your comment. Okay. So x is what percent of y? Simple meaning is what? This is yesterday we have done. X is what percent of y? Simple meaning is x upon y into 100. This is the meaning of x is what percent of y. What is the question? 2 hour 45 minute is what percent of a day? So same logic you are getting here or not? So this is 165 minute, and in a day how many minutes are there? So in a day 24 hour, and in 1 hour 60 minute. So what is the total number of minute? Now the question which is they are asking is 165 minute is what percent of 1440 minute? 165 minute is what percent of 1440 minute? So 165 upon 1440 into 100. Now you can solve this thing and you can find out the answer. The answer will be around 11%. The answer will be around 11%. Okay, the answer will be around 11%. So the correct answer will be B1, 11.45%. The correct answer will be B, 11.45%. What we have done? The question is 2 hour 45 minute is what percent of a day? In a day 24 hour is there, and in each hour 60 minute is there. So we can simply find a total number of minute is 1440. Okay. Is this making sense or not? Is this making sense or not? Now come to the next question. If 60% of A income is equal to 75% of B income, then B's income is equal to X percent of A income. The value of X is, just do it. If 60% of A income is equal to 75% of B's income, then B's income is equal to X percent of A income. Just try to solve it. What is the question? 60% of A income is, suppose total income of A is A, so 60% of A income is equal to 75% of B income. This is what we have. Okay? Now this will cancel out. So we can say that from here A upon B is equal to 75 upon 60 or 5 by 4. This will become 5 by 4. A upon B is equal to 5 by 4. Now the question is, B income is equal to X percent of A income. B income is then B's income is equal to X percent of A's income. What is the value of X? So how to solve this question? There are a lot of ways to solve. One way is, if you are comfortable with 100, so we will try to make one value is equal to 100. We will try to make, see, from here we can say that what we are getting that A upon B is equal to 5 upon 4. So if I take A is equal to 5, I can take B is equal to 4. If I take A is equal to 5, we can take B is equal to 4. We can take this value. We can take A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 4. Now what is the question? B's income is equal to the X percent of A's income. That means they are asking 4 is what percent of 5? 4 is what percent of 5? Because the question is B's income is X percent equal to X percent of A's income. That means the question is asking this 4 is what percent of 5? 4 is what percent of 5? The simple question is 4 is what percent of 5? So how we can find out? How we can find out? 4 is what percent of 5? The simple meaning is this will come as 80%. This will come as 80%. This will come as 80%. Please ask if you have any doubt here. Please ask if you have any doubt here. A is equal to 5, B is equal to 4. By this way we can solve this question. Try this question, question number 10th. Try question number 10th. Question number 10th is, Rohit is working in a multinational company. His office hours are 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. from Monday to Friday. Then what percent of whole week does Rohit spend in an office? Again, see what percent of what percent of whole week does Rohit spend in the office? What percent of X is Y? What percent of X is Y? And we know that how to solve what percent of X is Y. We know that how to solve what percent of X is Y. What percent of X is Y? So what percent of whole week does Rohit spend in the office? Try this question. Give your answer. Please start giving the answer. Right, wrong doesn't matter. If you are giving the wrong answer also, that means you are trying. If you are not giving anything, that means you are not trying. So wrong is not a problem, but just do it. Just do it. Please comment as soon as possible so that I can understand you are trying. So every day, Monday to Friday, 11 to 6, that means total 7 hours he is in the office. 7 hours he is in the office. And for how many days? Total 7 hours per day he is in the office. And for how many days? Monday to Friday, that means 5 days. That means total 35 hours he is in the office. Total 35 hours he is in the office. And the question is what percent of whole week? So in 1 week, total number of hours is how much? 7 into 24. 7 into 24. 168. 168. That means total number of hours in a week is 168, and out of that 35 hours he is in the office. Now the logic is what? The question is what percent of whole week does he Rohit spend in the office? That means what percent of X is Y simply. So 35 upon 168 multiply by 100. 35 upon 168 multiply by 100. How much the answer will be? Is around 22%, I hope. Please verify either 22 or okay. You can calculate either this one. I think this one is the correct answer. D is the correct answer. But you can just check once. You can just check once. D is the correct one, I think. D is the correct one, I think. D is the correct one, I think. Okay. You can calculate. Do the calculation part and you will get your answer. Do the calculation part and you can get your answer. Okay, try this question. Try this question. A fruit contains one spoiled fruit for every 25 fruits. Okay, 60% of the spoiled fruits were sold. If the seller has sold 48 spoiled fruit, then the number of fruit in the crate was. Okay, just try this question. Okay, so there is a one fruit spoiled for every 25 fruit. This is the information we have. And 60% of the spoiled fruit were sold. That means if suppose total spoiled fruit was 100%, so out of this 60% is sold. If total spoiled fruit is 100%, out of this 60% of the fruit is sold. And it is given that this, see, देखो, in the percentage, there are two ways to give the information. One way is, like for example, if I say to clear the, or like this year the cutoff of GS paper is 52%. This is the one way to give the information. That means out of total number, whosoever has got more than 52% marks, he should have cleared the examination. The other way of giving the information is the total cutoff, or the cutoff for this year is 104 out of 200. 104 out of 200. So one way is we are giving the information in percentage, the other way is we are giving the information, same information in the number. So both are same. Both are same. Either you give information in term of percentage or you give information in term of number. Similarly, in class 12th, suppose I can say you got 60% marks. The other way of saying the information is out of 500, you got 300 marks in class 12th. Are you getting my point not? Both are same thing because the nature of information is same. Because the nature of the information is exactly same. Okay? So here one information is the 60% of the fruits are spoiled fruit. Okay? Now another way of giving the information is if the seller has sold 60% of the spoiled fruit, sorry, 48 spoiled fruit. That means, okay, now what is the question? The question is given that total spoiled fruit is 100%. Out of this, 60% is sold. This is the one information. And another information is given, 48 spoiled fruit are totally sold. That means we can say that out of total, this 60% is equal to 48. This 60% is equal to 48. So from here we can say that 60% is equal to 48, or 60% of total spoiled fruits is equal to 48. Okay? Now, what is 60% meaning? 60 upon 100. From here we can say 1% of total spoiled fruit is equal to 48 into 100 upon 60. And now what we have to find out? We have to find out the 100%. So how we can find out the 100%? If I multiply both sides by 100, if I multiply both sides by 100, just a minute. %, only 60 will go, not 100. 1% of total spoiled fruit is 48 upon 60, and 100% we have to just multiply by 100 here. We can multiply by 100. We can solve this thing. That means now we will got that total spoiled fruit is equal to 80. Total spoiled fruit is equal to 80. This is what information we have. This is what we have from the question. Now the question is, the fruit contains one spoiled fruit for every 25 fruits. So now we can find out the answer. That means for one fruit, spoiled fruit, there is a 25 fruits. So for 80 spoiled fruit, there will be 25 into 80 fruits. You can multiply, you can find out the answer. You can multiply, you can find out the answer. Any doubt you can ask? Response portal, I'm not able to see any comment. Response portal, I'm not able to see any comment after 519. So I think it's not working properly. I thought students are not commenting. Response portal is not working properly. No, response portal I'm not able to see. Try this question. This kind of question UPSC generally asking in the examination. Try this one. Yes, now it start working. Now the response portal start working. Great. Now we can communicate. Try question number 17. Try question number 17. Try question number 17. A box contains 250 blue balls, 500 red balls, and 300 green balls, and 150 pink balls. A person took out 40% of blue, 50% of red, and 60% of green ball from this box. Then find the percent of pink ball at present. Why did I multiply both sides by 100? The logic was, see, suppose if we got 1% of a number, 1% of A is suppose 500. So what is our aim? Our aim was to find out the 100%. Our aim was to find out the 100%. So how we can find out the 100%? If I multiply both sides by 100, what will happen? I can find out the 100% or not. That's why we have multiplied by 100. Try this question. This is the basic one. Try question number 17. Try question number 17. A box contains 250 blue balls, red ball, 500 red and 300 green and 150 pink balls. Okay, one answer I'm getting as D, 18.65%. See, now first find out a box is there. In this box, different kind of balls are there. So 250 blue balls are there. Then 500 red balls are there. Then 300 green balls are there. And 150 pink balls. These are the things which we have. The total number of balls, if we add 5 plus 3, 800, 950, 1000, 1200. That means total number of balls (1200). Okay. Now this is the initial case. Now question is saying a person took out 40% of blue ball. So this 40% of this ball he has taken out. So 10% of this become 25, 40% become 100. That means he is taking out 100. He is taking out 100 ball out. So when he take 100 ball out, how much is left? 150 is left. And 50% of red ball. 50% of red ball means he is taking out 250 balls. He is taking out 250 balls. And 60% of green balls. 60% of green ball. 10% become 30. Yesterday we have done 10% become 30. 60% become 180. That means he is taking out 180 ball. 180 ball. So what is the total number of ball left now? How much he has taken out? Out of 1200, he has taken out 100 of blue ball plus 250 red ball plus 180 green ball. 350, this is 350, then 100, 450, then 80 more. 530 balls. That means out of 1200, he has taken out 530 balls. So how much is left? (200 plus 400), 670. That means now 670 ball is left in this container or in this box, whatever you can say. How much is left? 670 ball is left. The question is find the percent of pink ball at present. So total number of pink ball present is 150 out of total 6 into 100. This will come around. D is not a correct answer. I think C will be the correct one. The C will be the correct one. You can calculate. You can calculate. I think C will be the correct one. Calculation part you can do. Calculation part you can do, but I think C will be the correct one. I think C will be the correct one. I hope C is the correct one. You can do the calculation part and all. Any doubt you can ask right now? Can you explain again, please? Okay. Let's take the question. The question is very simple. We have a box. In this box, different kind of balls are there. Some are blue ball, some are red ball, some are green, some are pink. And the numbers are given. 250 are blue, 500 are red, 300 are green, 150 are pink. This is what we have. Total calculation we have done. Total ball become 1200. total ball become 1200. Total ball become 1200. Are you getting my point not? Now, what the question is saying, they are taking some ball out. They are taking some ball out. Which ball they are taking out? It is given in the question 40% of blue ball. So if we take 40% of blue ball, 10% become 25. 10% become 25, 40% become, you can just simply find out 10% is 25, 40% become 100. That means you're taking 100 of blue ball out. 50% of red ball you're taking out. 50% means 250 ball you're taking out. Okay. Similarly, 60% of green ball, 60% means 180 ball you're taking out. So how many ball are left now in this box? After you have taken this much ball out, total number of ball left is 670. 670. Now the question is, find the percent of pink ball at present. Percent of pink ball at present. So right now there are total 150 pink ball out of total 670 ball. Total number of ball are 150 now, pink ball, and total balls are 670. So 150 is what percent of 670, and we can find out and we can have the answer. Okay? I hope this is clear now. Okay, now try this question. Try question number 22. In a test consisting of 120 questions, Anuradha answered 65% of the first 60 questions correctly. What percent of remaining question does she need to answer correctly to score 75% in the test? Try this question. Again, this is a favorite type of question for UPSC. You will find such kind of question in the examination every year almost. Try this question. So do we get all these questions? Means yes, we will upload the PPT and we will upload the sheets also. So you will get everything, don't worry. If you are asking the same question, Teja Shri. If your question is whether we will get these problem or not, so yes, we will upload this PPT as well as the sheet will be given to you. That will be uploaded in your portal. Try this question. Okay, try this question and tell me where you are facing the problem exactly. If you are facing the problem, tell me what. एक तो होता सर नहीं solve हो रहा. I'm not able to solve. The second way is this is the exact thing. I'm not able to understand the language, and in language also this part I'm not able to understand. If you ask me this way, I'm able to give you the correct way of okay how to approach this problem, how to solve this thing. So please just see, look into this and tell me where you guys are facing the problem. Accordingly, I will guide you. Okay, the spoiled fruit wala question दोबारा repeat करना. I will repeat it, don't worry. Okay, now how to approach this question? The question is, what percent of remaining question does he answer correctly to score 75% in the test? That means what is the aim of the person? The aim of the person is to score 75% marks in the test. This is the aim or not? That means out of 120 question, he need to correct 75% of the question or not? Out of 120 question, he need to correct 75% of the question. That means total number of, so we can simply find out 75% of 120 90. That means out of 120, if he has to score 75%, that means he has to correct 90 question or not. Any doubt here? देखो सबसे पहले what we have done, we have just come to the problem. What is the problem statement? The problem statement is he need to get 75% of the marks. He need to get 75% of the marks. He need to get 75% of the marks. Are you getting my point not? So this 75% of the marks, how he will get? How he will get that 75% of the marks? So the logic is what? The logic is this 75%, we will find out total questions are 120. To get 75% marks, he has to score or he has to correct the 90 question. He has to correct the 90 question. Are you getting my point or not? So that means total question he has to correct is the 90. Now what is given? In first 60 question, he has answered 65% of the first 60 question correctly. That means out of 60 question, he has answered 65% as correct. So if we find out that means total 39 question he has answered correctly. Out of 60 question, total 39 question he has answered correctly. Okay? Now, how many question are left? 60 question are left. And how many question he has to answer correctly? We can simply find out 90 minus 39. 90 minus 39. So this becomes 40, 50, 51 question. That means total question he has to mark correctly now is 51. Total question he has to mark correctly is 51. So the question is what? What percent of remaining question does he need to answer correctly to score 75% in the test? So if he has to score 75% in the test, he has to mark correctly 51 question out of 60 question. From where this 60 is coming? Because total question is 120, 60 data we have, remaining question are 60. So that means he has to mark 51 question out of 60 question correctly to score the 75% of total marks. This will become 510 upon 6. 85% will be the correct answer. 85% will be the correct answer. D is a correct one. D is a correct one. Any doubt you can ask? Any doubt you can ask? Any doubt you can ask? देखो shortcuts are there, we can do it without pen and pencil also, but that should not be the aim right now. That should not be the aim right now, because the aim should be first to solve the problem. With subsequent classes, might be after 4 class, 5 class, you are in the better position to solve without pen and pencil. You are in the better position to solve without pen and pencil. Are you getting my point or not? See, right now the aim should be to solve the problem. And again I am saying, now it's not about out of 200 whether you are getting 150 or 180. It's all about whether you are clearing the cutoff or not. Are you getting my point or not? तो अभी वो एम नहीं है कि मुझे 150 लेके आना है या 180 लेके आना है. Is hardly 67 marks. So time is not a constraint right now if you're preparing for UPSC. So the logic is, I will tell you shortcuts also. I can solve this question without pen and pencil within 10-20 seconds, not more than that. And even you can also solve it. Okay? But the logic is, right now is that required? No, it's not required right now. With time, I will tell you, with 4 class, 5 class, you will become comfortable and you can simply find out the answer. And even this is not the lengthy one. Even this is not the lengthy one. This will hardly take some 15 seconds or 1 minute, not more than that. Okay. We are confused to, okay, exactly tell me where the confusion is. Please repeat the part. Okay, I'm again repeating everything, but please, when you are asking the question, don't simply say, I'm not able to understand. Please tell me which part you are not able to understand so that I am able to answer your query properly. What is the question? Dekho, total 120 questions are there. This is what we have. Now what is the final aim? Final aim is to score 75% in the test. To score 75% in the test. That means out of 120 question, 75% question should be correct or not? So the first thing will be, how many questions should be correct? So we can simply find out the 75% of this number. This is coming as 90. That means out of 120 question, 90 questions should be correct one. 90 questions should be correct one. This is the logic of the question. 120 questions are there. Out of that, 75% is the aim to answer correctly. That means total number of correct questions should be 90. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now this is the aim of the question. This what we have to achieve. Now what is given? The Anuradha answers 65% of the first 60 question correctly. That means now out of 120 question, Anuradha in first 60 question, he has answered 65% question correctly. So we can find out 65% of this number. This 65% is coming as 39. 39. This we have find out. So out of this 120 question, in the first 60 question, Anuradha has answered 65% question correctly. So that means out of this 60 question, Anuradha has answered 39 question correctly. Now what is the aim? The aim is to get 90 question correctly. That means in the rest of the question, what is the rest of the question? If 60 question is this, rest of the question is another 60 question or not? Because total number of question is 120. We have talked about the first 60 question. How much is left? Another 60 question are left. Another 60 question are left. Is this making sense or not? Another 60 question are left. Is this making sense or not? Okay. Now this 60 question, how many should be correct to achieve this target? So total number of question should be correct is 90. Out of this 90, 39 is already correct. That means out of 60, 51 should be more correct. Why? Because 51 plus 39 is equal to total 90. Now that means he has to correct 51 question out of remaining 60 question. So this is what they are asking. What percent of remaining questions? So what is the what percent of remaining question? Remaining question is 60. What percent of remaining question does she need to answer correctly to score 75% in the test? So he has to answer correctly 51 question out of remaining question in 200, and when you solve this thing, you will get 85%. I hope this is clear. This Naveen, Aparna, Mumtaz, I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear to everyone now. Try this question 24. Try this question number 24. Try question number 24. A shopkeeper has certain number of apple of which 10% are found to be rotten. ठीक है? He sells 80% of the remaining good apple and he still has 405 good apple. 405 good apple. How many apple did he originally have? Okay, we will come to this question later on because this requires some successive decrement and all. I will come to this question after some time. You can solve it, but it's required some successive decrement and all. This already we have done just now. Again, successive increment and decrement. Okay, let's just start the topic of successive increment and decrement, then you are able to solve most of the problem. Then you are able to solve most of the problem. I'm going to start the how to know that the value we want to find out should be written in the numerator and denominator. Okay, Aparna, like yesterday we have discussed x is what percent of y. So if you practice that x is what percent of y, you are able to find out that x is what percent of y. If you practice that, if you try to understand that, then with 2, 3 question, 4 question, you are able to find out the answer. You are able to find out the answer with that. Okay. Now I'm starting the successive increment and decrement, then we will come to the question part again. Then we will come to the question part again. Okay. Suppose if I'm saying the population of a country is increased by 10% every year. The population of a country is increased by 10% every year. Then what will be the population after 2 years? See, be here for some time. Suppose the population is 100. Suppose the population is 100 right now. What happened? In first year, the population is increased by 10%. The population is increased by 10%. So we will go one by one. Increment means addition. How much addition? 10% of this number, 10% of this number become 10. So 10 addition, this population become 110. In successive increment, the next increment occur on this value, not on this value. Suppose this is the population on 2020, this is the population of 2021. So in 2022, the increment will occur on this value, just previous value, rather than this one. The increment occur on this value rather than this one. Are you getting my point not? So now the next increment will occur on this value. That means again 10% increment, and 10% here means 11. So 11 increment, this become 121. This become 121. So you can see that anything was 100. Now after 2 years, the same value become 121. Anything was 100. After 2 years, the same value become 121. Anything was 100. Now after 2 years, the same value become 121. That means there is an increment of 21% or not. There is an increment of 21% or not. Anything was 100. Now same value increased to 122, 121 after 2 years. That means there is an increment of in which question, like more than or less than 6, then we do a plus 6. Not getting your question, Prajakta. You can explain your question, you can elaborate it. A number our student are asking to explain the question number 13. Okay, question number 13, I will take it up, don't worry. First, let's do this thing. Then after the break, I will take question number 13, don't worry. I will take question number 13 after the break. Don't worry, first understand this part. Understand this part. So anything is 100. Now the same value become 121. That means there is an increment of 21%. So if 2 continuous year, there is an increment of 10%. That means after 2 years, total increment become 21% rather than 20%. If I ask you, every year the population is increased by 10%. So you will say after 2 year increment will be 20? No. If it is successive increment, then after 2 years, total increment become 21%. If it is successive increment, then after 2 years, the total increment become 21%. Is this making sense or not? Is this making sense or not? This is called as successive increment. This is called as successive increment. Is this making sense or not? ये समझ में आ रहा कि नहीं आ रहा? Please remove vision logo. आप vision का logo adjust कर दो. I think it's not visible. Camera person, you can adjust the vision logo. If it is not visible properly, you can adjust that logo. Question number 13 I will take after the break. Understand this part, successive increment and decrement. Okay, great. Now, let's take more example. Let's take more example. Suppose I am saying the sales of a company is increased by first year by 10%, next year by 20%, and third year by 5%. What is the overall increment after 3 years? What is the overall increment after 3 years? The sales of a company is increased by 10% first year, 20% second year, and 5% third year. What is the overall increment? What we will do? Suppose total sales is right now 100. First year increment is 10%. Increment means addition. 10% of this number become 10. This become 110. Next year, the increment is of 20%. Next year, the increment is of 20%. So 20% means 10% become 11, 20% become 22. 10% become 11, 20% become 22. That means this value become 132. This is second year. Then third year, the increment is of 5%. Increment is of 5%. How to find out 5%? We can find out 10%, then divide by 2. 10% of this number become 13.2. Then 5% we will divide by 2. 6.6. 6.6. If I add 6.6, this will become 138.2. This will become 138.2. So any, 138.6, sorry. 138.6. So anything was 100, now the same value become 138.6. What is the increment? The increment is of 38.6. Always understand, whenever they are asking increment, listen here carefully. See, if suppose I have two marker, two pen, I have two pen I have. Now I have one more pen. I have one more pen. What is the increment? The increment is only of this value, not the total value. Generally, when I ask in the class, what is the increment? Students say 138.6 is the increment. No. See, anything is 100. Listen carefully. Anything is 100. The same value become 400. Anything is 100. The same value become 400. I am asking you, what is the increment? Can you answer me? Suppose today you have 100 rupees. Tomorrow you have 400 rupees. I am asking you, what is the increment? Your money is increased by how much percent? Or what is the total increment here? Give me the answer. Anything was 100, now same value become 400. What is the total increment here? Answer this question. What is the total increment here? Yes, Mushkan, Sneha, great. Yes, Aparna, Ajay. Yes, please remember the increment is of 300 only because 100 was already present. And this is one point where students are making mistake, and I have seen lot of teachers are also making mistake. Forgot about the student. Lot of teachers are also making mistake at this point. So understand, if anything is 100, the same value become 400. So increment is of 300, or in percentage term, the increment is of 300%. In percentage term, the increment is of 300%. So please remember this thing, otherwise you will mark a wrong option. So anything was 100, now the same value become 138.6, that means increment is 38.6 only. Or you can apply the basic concept, increment means change, change is final value minus initial value. Increment is final value minus initial value. Increment is final value minus initial value. If you, now some student asking, telling 400. No, answer is 300. Why? Because I am asking, dekho, if the question is the value become 400 times, or like 4 times, sorry, the value become 4 times, but the increment is only 3 times. The value become 400, but increment is of 300 only. Increment means change. Increment means change. So please explain how we add 22 for 20% increment. Okay. What is 20% of this number? 110. So what is 10% of this number? Yesterday we have discussed 10% of this number is 11. So how to find out 20%? Multiply by 2. So 20% become 22 or not? 10% of this number become 11. Okay? 20% of this number become, just multiply by 2 and you will get your answer. Multiply by 2 and you will get your answer. I hope this is clear. Please ask your doubt. I am giving you time. Ask your doubt. Then I will move to the application of this. Please take your time. If you have any doubt, ask right now. Please ask if you have any doubt right now. Anything you want to ask? Otherwise, we will go to the application of this part. Okay. See, now where to apply this concept? See, if anywhere it is written as A is equal to B into C, listen carefully. If two things are given in multiplication, like B, C or anything, like a D also, D, E, this will go on like this. A is equal to B into C into D into E into F dot 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 so on, and it is given that there is an increment of 10% here, there is an increment of 5% here, increment of 10%, and this will go on. So this is the case of successive increment. This is the case of if multiplication sign are there. This is not applicable if it is written like this. A is equal to B plus C. Now question is saying 10% increment here, 10% increment here. Now we cannot apply this logic. This successive increment and decrement is only applicable when multiplication sign are there. For example, if it is given like distance is equal to speed into time. Distance is equal to speed into time. Then like a expenditure is equal to price into consumption. Price into consumption. Then work done is equal to efficiency into number of days. Work done is equal to efficiencies into number of days. Work done is equal to efficiencies into number of days. Okay, so everywhere this kind of thing can be applicable. We will like a area of rectangle. Area of rectangle is equal to length into breadth. Length into breadth. Same logic can be applicable. Same logic can be applicable. Okay. Now coming to the question, suppose if it is given that if the length and breadth of rectangle is increased by 10% and 20% respectively. If the length of a rectangle, length and breadth of a rectangle is increased by 10% and 20% respectively, find the overall increment in area of rectangle. If the length and breadth of a rectangle is increased by 10% and 20% respectively, find the overall increment in the area of rectangle. How to approach this problem? We are knowing that area of rectangle is length into breadth. Now length is increased by 10% and breadth is increased by 20%. Length is increased by 10% and breadth is increased by 20%. This is what we have right now. Length is increased by 10% and breadth is increased by 20%. Okay? Now, so what we will do? We will consider original area is equal to 100. We will consider original area is equal to 100. And since this is fitting in the successive increment case, because multiplication sign is there, one is increased by 10%, one is increased by 20%. Now, so what we will do? We will consider area as 100. First we will increase 10%. So if I increase 10%, so 10 is increment is there, this become 110. Now another increment is of 20%. Another increment is of 20%. So just now we have done, this become 132. So initially area was 100, now the same area become 132, so total increment become 32%. That means if length is increased by 10%, breadth is increased by 20%, so area is increased by 32% overall. Area is increased by 32% overall. Please ask your doubt if you have. Please ask your doubt if you have. Area of triangle is half length into breadth. I am saying rectangle. Ayat. Rectangle, not the triangle. I am talking about the quadrilateral. Length into breadth. Now the triangle. Overall increment is of 32%. Please ask your doubt if you have. Please ask your doubt if you have. Ashwarya, you understood? Great. This type of question is coming in the examination. We will come to that. We will come to that. This kind of question is coming in the examination. Okay. Let's take a break After the break, we will meet and do more probability, like here permutation combination we will do here, increment, decrement, all these things we will do. Let's take a break. After the break, we will meet and do more questions of this topic. Okay. So, some very genuine questions has been asked. So if there is an increment in the length into length and breadth, then why we are increasing in the area? Then why we are increasing in the area? Okay. And some are asking, sir, why directly increment in the area? Why not length into breadth? So basically I skip some step to avoid any overburden. But if you want, I can explain, no issue with that. Okay, देखो, let me explain first. Suppose if I'm saying, see, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? A into 110 upon 100, the simple meaning is A become 110% or not. This is the percent sign. This is the percent sign. So A become 110%. Okay? Or we can say into this way, the A is increased by 10%. Both are correct or not? If anything become 120%, if anything become 130%, so what does this mean? The increment of 20% is there, the increment of 30% is there. When I'm saying A become 110%, that means I can, in another way I can say that A is increased by 10% or not. This is what we have seen yesterday. I have asked you to increase 20% in 150. What you have done? You have done like this is 100%, 20% increment. That means the value become 120%. So whenever we are saying anything becoming 120%, that means the other way around is there is an increment of 20% into that. The increment of 20% into that. Are you getting my point not? So now here, deliberately I have skipped some step to, because this is not required, but if you are asking, let me explain. See, suppose if it is given that A is equal to B into C, or like length into breadth itself. Like a length into breadth. Okay? I am saying there is a 10% increment in length and 20% increment in breadth. For example, 10% increment in length and 20% increment in breadth. Okay? Now what does this mean? This means now whatever length was there, if length is increased by 10%, that means now length become 110% or not? Because if you increase anything by 10%, the same thing become 110% or not? Similarly, the breadth is increased by 20%. The breadth is increased by 20%. That means the breadth become 120% or not? This is what we have learned yesterday. If anything is increased by 10%, that means the value become 110%. If anything is increased by 20%, that means the value become 120% or not? Now, if you solve this thing, this will become L into B into 110% into 120% or not? And if you look closely, this is new area. This is A new because we are increasing. So this A new, area new become what? Length into breadth. This length into breadth is what? This length into breadth is simply A. So A into 110% into 120%. Now if you see this, what is the meaning of this? Whatever area, original area was there, first you increase that area by 10%. Why 10%? Because this is becoming 110%. Then whatever value is coming, then you are increasing the same area by 20%. Same area by 20%. So this is the way we have just done the directly. We have taken this value 100 and we have just applied here. If you solve this way also, the same thing will come. If I take A is equal to 100, put here in this value, what will happen? 100 into 110 upon 100 into 120 upon 100. Solve this. This also become 132. That means initially area was 100, now area become 132. So what is the increment? Somebody is asking, why not increment of 32? Yes, increment of 32 only, but we have to answer in term of percentage. So in term of percentage, what is the increment? The increment of 32%. The increment of 32%. So I have done this directly rather than going by this process, but either way you can do it, the answer will remain same. I hope now this is making sense. Virendra, Prajakta, Naveen, I hope this is making sense now. I hope this is making sense now. Let me know, is this clear or not? Video stop. Camera person, video stop. Just wait. Just wait. Now it's working, I hope. Now it's working, I hope. Class stop. I hope this is working now. Please confirm. Yes, now working. All glitches, yes, all glitches in your class because some forces want to stop you to become Shaktiman from Gangadhar. That's why all glitches in your class. Okay? These are the part and parcel of life, except that the problem will be there. The problem will be there. Why? Because you are going to become a Shaktiman. So it will take time, it will come with a difficulty, everything will come with some problems. So don't worry, accept that problem. Okay, this is the part and parcel of life. My aim is to clear the doubt, to understand the mathematics. I will not deviate from that. Whatever problem will come, I will accept that. Yes, you are becoming Shaktiman. That's why all forces are stopping your classes. Some technical glitches. Okay, all things are coming here and there. Okay, again I am repeating, probably from starting. See here. Now listen here. Initial area was A, and A is equal to length into breadth. Length into breadth. Okay. Now it is given in the question, the length is increased by 10%, breadth is increased by 20%. So when I increase that, what is the new area? What is the new area? So understand, if length is increased by 10%, That means if anything is increased by 10%, that means the value become 110% or not? The value become 110% or not? This is what we have learned yesterday. If anything is increased by 20%, that means the value become 120% now. If anything is increased by 40%, that means the value become 140% or not? Same way here, if area is increased by 10%, that means now, sorry, if length is increased by 10%, that means now the length become 110%. Okay? Breadth is increased by 20%, that means breadth become 120%. Now we can multiply L into B into 110% into 120%. Now just this readjusting this L into B I have taken together, and we know that original area is L into B. Instead of L into B, I have just written A here. So instead of L into B, I have just write A here. So this become A into 110% into 120%. Now how to read this? A into 110% means whatever area is there, that is becoming now 110%. That means there's a 10% increment in area first. Now whatever value is coming, now there is a 20% increment into that. 20% increment into that. That means ultimately it is increment into length into breadth, but overall it is the area which is increased by 10% first, then 20% again. Now either you can put this value here also, you can take A is equal to 100, and if you put the value here A is equal to 100, you will get new area is equal to 132. New area is equal to 132. Now the question is, why not 32 increment? Yes, the increment is of 32 only, but since we have to answer them in percentage term, so in percentage term, out of 100, 32 increment is there. That means we will say that there is an increment of 32%. Is this making sense or not? Is this making sense or not? Is this making sense or not? Okay, so ultimately you have to just increase the area. I have taken that area is equal to 100, increase the length 10%, so I have increased this 10%, then breadth 20%, this 20%. Now please ask your doubt if you have, otherwise we will move to the next part, next question. Ask your doubt if you have. Anything you have, you can ask. Okay? Now, you can do it without pen and pencil also. Use your brain. Suppose it is given that length is increased by 10%. Breadth is also increased by 10%. What is the increment in area? We can assume area is equal to 100. Then 10% increment, that means that become 110. Then again 10% increment, that means that become 121. We can do it without pen and pencil also. We can take A is equal to 100, first 10% increment, this become 110, then again 10% increment, this become 121. Total increment of 21%. Total increment of 21%. So without pen and pencil also we can solve this problem within fraction of second. Okay? Now what will happen in case of decrement? Same logic will apply in case of decrement. For example, area is given as length into breadth. It is given that length is increased by 20% and breadth is decreased by 10%. Length is increased by 20%, breadth is decreased by 10%. Same logic will apply. We will take area 100, first 20% increment. So this 20% increment, this become 120, and then 10% decrement, 10% of this number become 12, total become 108. So overall increment of 8%. Overall increment of 8%. Why 8% increment? Because it was 100 and now it become 108. So total increment is of 8%. I hope this is clear to everyone. I hope this is clear to everyone. Please say yes or no. Or you can ask your doubt also if you have any. You can ask your doubt. Yes, great. Okay. Now there was a question in UPSC 2016 or 17. I won't remember the year. I remember the data. Now you can answer that question without pen and pencil. I'm just telling the question. You can just answer. You can just answer. The question was, if the length of a rectangle is increased by 40%, you can answer within fraction of second also. If the length of a rectangle is increased by 40% and breadth is decreased by 20%, if the length of a rectangle is increased by 40% and breadth is decreased by 20%, and breadth is decreased by 20%, what is the total percent of increment in area? What is the total percent of increment in area? What is the total increment, percent of increment in area? If length is increased by 40%, breadth is decreased by 20%, what is the total increment in area? Yes, we can do it without pen and pencil also. Area was 100. First increment of 40%, this become 140, this become 140, then there is a decrement of 20%, that means 28 decrement, this become 112, there is a increment of 12%. This was the question of UPSC CSAT 2014-15. You can just check the year, but this was the question. So we can do it without pen and pencil also. We can do it without pen and pencil also. Any doubt here? Now some logical things. I am writing a logical question, you have to answer. If the population of a country increase by X%, the population of a country is increased by X% in 2019. The population of a country is increased by X% in 2019. Because of COVID, the population is decreased by Y%. The population is decreased by Y% in 2020 in such a way that now population is equal to a starting population of 2019. See, in 2019 the population increased by X%. Now in 2020, because of COVID and all, the population is decreased by Y% in such a way that now it's become exactly same as the starting population of 2019. The population is now same as a starting population of 2019. ठीक है, मतलब जहां शुरू किया था वहीं फिर से आ गए. मान लो आज 100 थी, इंक्रीमेंट हुआ, नेक्स्ट ईयर डिक्रीमेंट हो, फिर से हम 100 पे स्टार्टिंग पे आ गए. Okay, then which of the following is true? Which of the following option will be true? The first option will be X will be more than Y. Second option will be Y will be more than X. Third option will be X is equal to Y. And fourth option will be can't be determined. This can be the question in the examination, a conceptual one. Try this. Try this question and tell me the answer. Try this question and tell me the answer. X is greater than Y, some are saying second one, some are saying third one, and some are saying fourth one. Every option is in the screen. This is the conceptual question which they can ask in the examination, because UPSC loves such kind of question in the exam. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. See, you have questions, so I am roughing this. Dekho, if suppose I have 100, suppose anybody has 100 rupees. Now, or the salary of person is 100. This salary is increased by 25%. Now the salary become 125. Now salary become 125. Now the question is, how much we have to decrease? How much we have to decrease so that it's become 100 again? So that it's become 100 again. Understand this question very simple. See, the absolute increment was 25. And here also we have to decrease 25 only, then we will reach at 100. Then we will reach at 100 or not. See, it was 100, we have increased 25, this become 125. Now in value term, if again I have to get 100, I have to decrease 25 only or not? I have to decrease 25. Is this making sense or not? But the question is whether the percent will be same or not. The value will remain same. 25 increment, 25 decrement. 25 increment, 25 decrement. But now the question is very simple. The question is what? The question is whether this percent will be same or not. Whether this Percent will be same or not? So how to find out whether this percent will be same or not? So understand, initially we were increasing with respect to 100. Now we are decreasing, successive decrement. We are decreasing with respect to 125. So now total percentage become how much? Initially increment of 25%. Now the decrement of 20% only. Now the decrement is 20% only. The absolute decrement is of 25 only, but in term of percentage, the percentage decrease. Why percentage decrease? Because base is increasing. Base is increasing. Initially, we were finding out 25 out of 100. Now we are finding out 25 out of 125. So in any case, if you are increasing first and decreasing and coming at same point, so always the second percentage will be less than the first percentage in any case. The second percentage will always be less than the first percentage in any case. Why it is so? Because initially base was 100, now base become 125. Initially base was smaller, now base become bigger. Is this making sense or not? Is this making sense or not? Is this making sense or not? So always y will be, or sorry, x will be more than y. Always x will be more than y. Always x will be more than y. The correct answer will be x will be more than y. The first one is the correct answer. The first increment should be more as compared to second decrement. The first increment should be more as compared to second decrement. Yes, is this making sense? Is this making sense? And mark this question, revise this question before the examination. Every year I am saying, because the logic is simple, they can ask such kind of question in the examination, and this is a very logical one. If you know the logic, you can answer it. Any doubt you can ask right now? Any doubt you can ask right now? Please again, see, what is the logic? The logic is, suppose any number was 100, you increase that number by 25%, that means there is an increment of 25, now the number become 125. Okay? Suppose the first year population was 100 and the population increased by, this is x percent, that means 25%, the population now become 125. The population now become 125. Okay? Now the question is, how much we will decrease, how much percent we will decrease so that again the population become 100. So the question is, if anything was 100, if anything was 100 and there is a 25% increment, that means 25 increment, this become 125. This become 125. Okay? Now, how much we should decrease so that again it's become 100? How much we should decrease so that again it's become 100? So, the logic is, we absolute value, in the term of absolute value, we have to decrease 25 only, because if increment of 25, decrement of 25, but we have to answer in term of percentage. So initially increment of 25% was there, now the decrement of how much percent? So the question is, initially we were increasing with respect to 100, now we are decreasing with respect to 125. So question is, 125 is what percent of 25 is what percent of 125? So if we find out this is 20%. So the logic is, if you are increasing 25% in 100 is becoming 125, now you have to only decrease 20%. You have to only decrease 20% to reach at 100. To reach at 100. Why 20% only? Because initially base was 100, now base become 125. So that means always in such cases x will be more than y. Why x will be more than y? Because when we are increasing, the base are smaller. When we are decreasing, the base are bigger. That's why the percentage will be always be lesser. I hope now this is making sense. I hope this is now making sense. Please ask if you have a doubt, otherwise we will go to the next part. The answer will be x will be more than y. In such situation, always x will be more than y. Okay, great. So now there is a AB formula also. There is a AB formula. With the help of AB formula also we can find out the answer. So some people will say, sir, ये भी बता दो, बता देता हूं मैं आपको. AB formula will say you the effective change. Effective change. The formula is A plus B plus AB upon 100. Note the formula, then I will tell how to use this. A plus B plus AB upon 100. If it is increment, value will be positive. If it is decrement, value will be negative. If it is increment, value will be positive. If it is decrement, value will be negative. A plus B plus AB upon 100. Suppose the same question which I have told you like came in the examination. The question was, if the length of the rectangle is increased by 40% and breadth is decreased by 20%, what is the effective change or what is the effective increment? So how to solve? Suppose length we have taken as A, so increment of 40%, increment positive sign, breadth is decreased by 12%, so 12% decrement, that means minus 12, plus, why minus sign? Because there is a decrement there, then plus 40 into minus 12 upon 100, okay? Now this will come as 28. Now plus minus minus 40 into 12, or we can cancel this 0, 0. Something is, okay, wait, it was 20, wait. I have taken the wrong data. 40 minus 20 plus 40 into minus 20 upon 100. I have taken the wrong data. This will come as 12. No. 20 minus this 0 will cancel out 8. So this will become 12 and 12 is coming in the positive sign. That means the effective change is of 12% and change is positive. Change is positive, that means there is an increment. Change is positive, that means there is a increment. So we can apply this AB formula also. If you're not able to understand the previous method, this is the formula by which you can find out the answer. By which you can find out the answer. Please ask if you have any doubt here. Please ask if you have any doubt here. Clear. Okay? So we can apply the AB formula, but there is limitation here. What is the limitation here? Suppose I am saying the volume of a cuboid, is length into breadth into height. Fine. Now what is the problem here? The problem here is this length, breadth and height, 3 factors are there. But formula is for 2 only. So first suppose I am saying the length is increased by 10%, breadth is increased by 20% and height is increased by 30%. So what is the change in the volume? So what is the change in the volume? So one way is we can take volume is equal to 100, 10% increment, 20% increment. One way is what? We can take volume is equal to 100. First 10% increment, 110, then 20% increment, 132, then 30% increment. So 13.2 is 10% into 3, 39.6 increment. This become 171.6. So total increment of 71.6%. Total increment of 71.6%. The question was what? The question was if the length, breadth and height of a cuboid is increased by 10%, 20% and 30% respectively, find out the overall increment in the volume. So same logic we will apply because all 3 are in the multiplication. This is the case of successive increment. We have taken volume is equal to 100. First we have increased by 10%, then we have increased by 20%, then we have increased by 30% and we have found that the overall increment is of 71.6%. This is the one way to solve. But if we are going to apply the AB formula here, it's become difficult. Why? Because 3 variables are there, A, B and 1, 2 and 3. But we know the formula for A and B, 2 variables. So how to solve this thing? First we will apply the AB formula in these 2 parts. First we will apply the AB formula in these 2 parts. So what will be the case? Length into breadth, that means 10 plus 20 plus 10 into 20 upon 100. This becomes 32%. That means overall increment in these 2 is 32%. Now again you have to apply the AB formula with this effective plus this H. So now one increment of effective is 32, H increment is of 30. Again you have to apply the AB formula here. 62 plus 9.6, that means 71.6. So effective increment of 71.6%. So twice you have to apply the formula. So it's a bit lengthy one. It's up to you. If you are able to solve by first method, is well and good. Otherwise you can solve by second method also. Please tell me if anything you are not able to understand, any doubt you can ask. If you have any doubt, you can ask right now. No doubt. Question number 13, I'm coming. Wait. Question number 13, I'm coming. First, tell me, any doubt here? Anything you want to ask here? I will take that question, Virendra Kumar. Don't worry. Any doubt in this question, please let me know. All clear, great. Okay, I'm giving you 2-3 minute time. Just revise the successive increment or decrement. Because again, one question is there from successive increment and decrement in any examination. So please just take 2-3 minutes, revise that. If you have any doubt, we can come to that. Otherwise, एक 13वां क्वेश्चन भाई काफी लोग पूछ रहे हैं, उसको देख लेते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 13. Okay, we will come to this question. If any doubt you can ask, otherwise we will solve this problem. If you have any question you can ask, otherwise, yes, I am proceeding further, but just take your time. 2-3 minutes I am giving to you. Just take 2-3 minutes, revise everything, visualize. Actually, it's a visualization rather than revision. Is visualization of the problem, whether you are able to visualize or not. Second method is nothing but applying AB formula twice. First apply into length into breadth, whatever effective is coming, then apply with that in the height also. That means twice we have to apply the AB formula. Any doubt of the previous thing, you can ask. Anything you are not able to visualize properly, you can ask. Otherwise, we can move to the next one. Okay, now coming to the question number 13, which many students have doubt. Fruit was there, one spoiled fruit for every 25 fruits. Okay? There is a one spoiled fruit for every 25 fruits. Okay? This is in the question. So 60 of the spoiled fruit were sold. देखो, if we talk about total that is equal to 100% or not? Total spoiled food is equal to 100%. Out of this, 60% is sold. 60% is sold. This is what we have. 60% is sold. That means 40% is not sold. 40% is not sold. This is the data we have. This is the data we have. Now question is, if the seller has sold 48 spoiled fruits, understand, now two data are given. One is saying 60% of the spoiled fruits are sold, and another data is given 48 spoiled fruit are sold. That means both are equal or not? Both are equal or not? These both are equal or not? Because these two are saying the same thing. I have given the example also. Either I will say in class 12th you got 60% marks. This is the one way of telling the thing. The second way is out of 500 you got 300 marks. This is the another way of telling. The one way is saying out of total spoiled fruit 60% fruits are sold, or 48 fruits are spoiled fruits are sold. So both are same thing. That means we can say that 60% of spoiled fruits is equal to 48. 48. Now, what is the total spoiled fruits? Total spoiled fruit is 100%. We have data for 60%. Can we find out from here 100%? Yes, we can find out. What is 1% of spoiled fruit? 48 upon 60. If we 48 upon 60, if we multiply both sides by 100. And why we are multiplying both sides by 100? Because we have to find out total 100%. So this become 100% of spoiled fruit is equal to 80. 80. That means total spoiled fruit, which is 100%, is coming as 80. Now tell me, any doubt here? Whosoever is asking question number 13, any doubt till now? Is this understood or not? Is this understood or not? Is this understood or not? Okay. Now, that means total spoiled fruit is coming as 80. What is the question? For one spoiled fruits, there is a 25, for every 25 fruits, there is a one spoiled fruits, or other way also. ठीक है? So for every 25 fruits, there is a one spoiled fruits. So for 80 spoiled fruits, there will be total 25 into 80 fruits. You can just multiply and you can find out the answer. You can find out the answer. 1% कहाँ से आया? अरे भाई ये तो यूनिटरी मेथड है, क्लास 3rd में सिखाया जाता है. Just wait. You might have learned this thing. The price of 5 fruit is 10 rupees. So price of 1 fruit will be how much? Unitary method, which we learn in the class 4th or 5th simply. See, what is given? 60% of spoiled fruit is equal to 48. Divide both sides by 60. Divide both sides by 60. And why we are dividing both sides by 60? Because we have to find out 1%. If we divide both sides by 60, what will happen? This become 1% or not? So 1% of spoiled fruit become 48 upon 60. Now 100% we have to just multiply by 100. I hope this is clear now. I hope this is clear now. divide both side by 60, और देखो बचपन में किया है ना, मैं आपसे पूछूं द प्राइस ऑफ 5 टॉफीज, द प्राइस ऑफ 5 टॉफीज इज 10 रुपीज. What is the price of one toffee? How you will find out? Use your common sense. The price of 5 toffees is 10 rupees. What is the price of one toffee? What you will say? The price of one toffee will be 10 upon 5 or not? That means 2 rupees. This is how we are doing the math. This is how we are doing the math. The price of 5 toffee is 10 rupees. So price of one toffee become 10 upon 5, that means 2 rupees. Same logic here, 60% is equal to 48. So 1% become 48 upon 60, or you can do by this way, you can divide both side by 60, 60 here, 60 here. So this way it is like there. I hope this is clear now. Try question number 8. Try question number 8. Try question number 8. Which is x and which is y here, 100 and 125. I hope you are referring the previous question. So x was not 100 or 125, x was 25 and 20, the percent of increment and decrement. 100 and 125 was the population. Try question number 8. A is 25% more than B, and B is 40% less than C, and C is 30% more than D. Then what is the percent of A less than D? What percent of A is less than D? Try this question. Okay. Now come to the basic. I'm repeating same thing again and again. If everything is given in percentage, all data are given in percentage, and final answer is also in the percentage, then we can assume the value is equal to 100. Now the question is which value we will assume here, 100, A, B, C or D. This will come with practice. This will come with practice. A is 25% more than B, B is 40% less than C, and C is 30% more than D. See, what is given here? Relationship of A is given with respect to B, B relationship is given with respect to C, and C relationship is given with respect to D. See here, A is dependent on B value, B is dependent on C value, and C is dependent on D value. So use your common sense, which value we will take as 100? We will take D as 100. Why? Because A is dependent on B. B is not dependent on A is dependent on B. Similarly, B is dependent on C and C data is dependent on D. So we will take D is equal to 100. We will take D is equal to 100. Okay. Now if D is equal to 100, C is 30% more than D. So what is the value of C? C become 130 or not? Why 130? Because C is 30% more than D. Yesterday we have discussed this thing. C is equal to 30% more than D. More means addition. How much addition? 30%. We have taken D value is equal to 100. This C become 130. Is this making sense or not? Now, B is 40% less than C. B is 40% less than C. What is the 40% of this? 10% become 13. 40% become 13 into 4. That means this become 52. So this B is 52 less than 130. So how much it will become? 80, 78. That means the value of B is 78. The value of B is 78. Now, what is the question? A is 25% more than B. A is 25% more than B. So, we know that A is 25% more than B. How we can write? A is equal to 25% more than B. So, B is 78 plus 25% of 78. 4. This will come as 19.5. So if I add 78 plus 19.5, so A value become how much? We add 20, this become 98 and 0.5 decrease to 97.5. So A is 97.5, D is 100. What is the question? What percent of A is less than D? So A is less than D by 2.5%. 2.5%. Yes, any doubt here? Any doubt here? Is this clear or not? Is this clear or not? There are n number of methods to solve this question. There are n number of methods to solve this question, but this is the easiest one I can say. There are n number of methods to solve this question. This is the easiest one I can say. You can use anything. You can use anything, but this is the easiest one by which we can solve this problem. Try this question. Question number 20. Try question number 20. In a marriage party, 32% are women, 54% are men, and there are 196 children. How many men are there in the marriage party? How many men are there in a marriage party? You can take any value is equal to 100. You can take any value is equal to if A will take as 100, answer will be same, but process will become complicated. Process will become complicated. You can take any value, but if you take A is equal to 100, the process become complicated and it's look difficult sometime. Okay? Otherwise answer will remain same. Please explain how to find V value once again. Now I have roughed that. You can again go and check the video. Still if you are not able to solve, tomorrow before starting of the class, you can just put your query. You can send to the class coordinator. I will take it up. I will take it up. Try question number 20. One answer, Kumar Gaurav, I am getting as A. Try question number 20. In a marriage party, 32% are women, 54% are men, and there are 196 children. How many men are there in the marriage party? How to solve this question? The total person should be equal to 100%. Total person should be equal to 100%. I have given you the hint. Total person should be equal to 100%. Try this question. Okay. See, very simple question. Total number of person in a party should be equal to 100%. Out of that, 32% are female or like a woman. 54% are men. Now, total become how much? 86%. So 86% is composite of women plus male, men. So how many children should be there? Total is 100% minus 86%. That means 14% should be children. And this number is given as 196. So from here we can say that 1% is equal to 196 upon 14. Okay? So 1% is equal to 14. We have to find out the number of men. So number of men become 54%. We can simply multiply by 54 both sides. You will get your answer. You will get your answer. You will get your answer. The correct answer is A. Okay, I am giving you one more trick. Dekho, I have not solved this. I have not solved this. What is the value I have not solved, but I know what is the correct answer by option. But I know what is the correct answer by option. How come? See, if I am multiplying 54 and 14, whatever will come at unit place, that will be decided by multiplication of this 4 and 4 or not. And when we multiply 4 and 4, 100% at unit place 6 will come. And only one option is there where 6 is coming, and that is the option number A. That is the option number A. So I have not multiplied this, but I got the answer. I have not multiplied this, but I have got the answer. I have not multiplied this, but I have got the answer. Okay? Okay, now generally UPSC sometime asks some puzzles also. So in the class I ask a student to solve some puzzles. I'm giving you one puzzle which can come in the examination. This is apart from percentage, whatever come in my mind sometime, I will ask to the student. So this is the one puzzle which UPSC can ask. Please listen carefully. The puzzle is something like this. A person has one scooter or motorcycle. A person has one scooter or motorcycle, and this person in this motorcycle, he has two tire and one stepney. Two tire and one stepney. That means total 3 tire is there. What is the case? A person has a scooter or motorcycle who has 2 tire and 1 stepney. By 1 tire, he can maximum go up to 100 kilometer. That means the maximum capacity of a tire is 100 kilometer. The maximum capacity of a tire is 100 kilometer. The maximum capacity of a tire is 100 kilometer. Each tire maximum can go up to 100 kilometer. The question to you is, what is the maximum distance? What is the maximum distance the person can travel by these 3 tires? What is the maximum distance the person can travel by these 3 tires? What is the maximum distance the person can travel by these 3 tires? Don't make Dhoom 4 and you will move in 1 tire only. ठीक है? आपको एक टायर पे नहीं जाना है. The motorcycle will move with the normal pace on 2 tire. ठीक है? शक्तिमान मत बन जाना यहाँ पे कि मैं तो एक टायर से चला जाऊंगा. No, this is not the case. The motorcycle will go on 2 tire only. So the question is, what is the maximum distance the person can travel by these 3 tires? Don't make Dhoom 4. Okay, everybody is giving answer as 100. Let me tell you, 100 is a wrong answer. 100 is a wrong answer. Now find out the answer. 100 is a wrong answer. Now think in another dimension. 100 is a wrong answer. Now some people are saying 150, some are saying 200. I'm waiting for 300 also. I'm waiting for 300 also. Akash is saying 150 from the starting. We will come to that. What is the correct answer? 150, 200, 125, 175. Sir, repeat question. Question में कुछ नहीं था. A person has a motorcycle which has 3 tires, 2 tires on the wheel and 1 tire on a stepney, and by 1 tire he can maximum travel to the 100 kilometer. So what is the maximum distance he can travel by these 3 tires? What is the maximum distance he can travel by these 3 tires? One is saying 3000. Very good. Okay, the correct answer is 150. The correct answer is 150. Akash was giving the correct answer since starting. The correct answer is 150. How come? Let me explain you. Listen carefully. I will not explain again. It is necessary to tire get collapsed. No, it's not necessary. But we have to travel the maximum distance. तो maximum में tire को collapse करना ही पड़ेगा ना. Then only we are able to travel the maximum distance. Then only we are able to travel the maximum distance. Okay, how do you see? Tire number 1, tire number 2, tire number 3. Okay? Suppose first we are using tire 1 and tire 2 and we are going up to 50 kilometer. We are going up to 50 kilometer by tire 1 and tire 2. After 50 kilometer, I have changed one tire. Suppose I have changed tire second and now I am using tire 1 and tire 3. I will again go 50 kilometer more. I will again go 50 kilometer more. Now, this tire will get exhausted. Why? Because it's covered total 100 kilometer. It's covered total 100 kilometer. This tire number second has only traveled 50 kilometer. Tire number 3 also travel 50 kilometer. So we will use now tire number second and tire number third and we will go next 50 kilometer by these 2 tires. And after this, all 3 tires will get exhausted. So total maximum number of distance we can travel is a 150 kilometer. Total distance we can travel is a 150 kilometer. What we have done? Tire 1 and tire 2 we have used, or any 2 tire you can use. One tire you can change. I have changed tire number second. I have changed tire number second. Now tire number 1 and tire number, I have used tire number 3 now. So tire number 3, tire number 1. Now what happened? Again further it will go. So this way the answer will be 150 kilometer. 150 kilometer. Yes. First we will use first and second. Then we will use first and third, or any 2 you can use. And then you can use second and third, or any tire, 2 tire you can use. The correct answer will be 150 kilometer. This kind of question UPSC love to give in the examination. This can come in the examination. So please prepare for this question. I will, in the subsequent classes also, I will take such questions which are coming in the examination. This is basically the puzzles kind of question. This is basically the puzzles kind of question. Any doubt you can ask? Any doubt you can ask? Any doubt you can ask? Our next class still the percentage will be there. Still अभी percentage बचा हुआ है. I think 1 or 2 class more I will take. And percentage, the next successive increment, some part is left. We will take the percentage only, don't worry. So percentage, basically we will cover, take 1 or 2 more classes to make it more clear. Sir, give one more puzzle type of question. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. Now, let's take another question. The question is, a person is smoking 5 cigarettes per day. A person is smoking 5 5 cigarettes per day for 25 days. For 25 days. From waste part of every cigarette, from waste part of every cigarette, from waste part of every cigarette, okay, wait, you can write he save waste part of every cigarette, and by taking 5 such waste part, he is making one more cigarette. He is making one more cigarette. What is the question? A person is smoking 5 cigarettes per day for 25 days. A person is smoking 5 cigarettes per day for 25 days. He saved waste part from every cigarette, and by taking 5 such waste part, he is making one more cigarette. Okay? Every cigarette he is saving some waste part, and by taking that 5 waste part, he is making one more cigarette. Why? Because he is kind of chain smoker. He is making one more cigarette. The question is, what is the maximum number of cigarette? He can smoke in 25 days. What is the maximum number of cigarette he can smoke in 25 days? A person is smoking 5 cigarettes per day for 25 days. He saved waste part of every cigarette, and by taking 5 such waste part, he is making one more cigarette. What is the maximum number of cigarette he can smoke in 25 days? Okay, this is kind of homework for you. You guys can find out the answer. Next class we will start from here. Okay? We will start from here. Next class we will start from here, and we will try to solve the more problem along with some concept. Please is a request to you, revise the concept again and again, try to solve the question. Okay? We will come whenever we have a class, next class we will discuss all these things again, and we will start the new topic also. Still the percentage will be there. The percentage, the election question, the examination question will be there. Election question, examination question, voting question, all this question will be there in the next exam. 150 is not a correct answer. Okay? We will meet in the next class. We will solve this thing. Thanks for today. Hope you enjoyed the class. Still, if you have any doubt, before starting off next class, I will take it up. And whatever technical glitches are there, we are working on that. We will very soon solve all the problem. And as I told you, to become Shaktiman is required lot of effort, lot of technical glitches, lot of problem. So ye part and parcel of life hai. We cannot ignore such thing. We have to accept that part. Okay, these are the part. Now what? Now we have to learn our concept. We have to learn our mathematics and all. Please understand this thing. We cannot ignore such thing. Technical things are there. Okay? So we have to go along with that. Oh, fine. We will meet in the next class. Okay, very soon. Probably next week. Hope you understand today class, today topic also. Thanks for today. Let's meet next week.